Right now, 1 in 7 adults over 60 is walking around with kidneys that are already quietly failing, and almost none of them feel a thing. No pain, no warning, just a number on a blood test that slips lower every year until a doctor uses a word nobody was ready to hear. I am Dr. Edward Hale, 15 years of practice, and I have watched this same story play out more times than I can count. Someone who did everything right, drank their water, cut their salt, stayed active, and still watched their kidney numbers drift the wrong way. What almost nobody told them is that the hour that mattered most was the last one before bed, because your kidneys do some of their deepest repair while you sleep, and what you put in your body right before that window either helps them recover or hands them more work they cannot finish by morning. Tonight, I am giving you 8 fruits that actually protect those filters overnight. And number 8 is one that a lot of people with kidney worries have been told to avoid completely, for a reason I will explain honestly. Before we begin, tell me in the comments how old you are and whether anyone has ever checked your kidney numbers. I read them, and the age of this audience shapes what I cover next. Here is what almost no one explains in a rushed office visit. Each of your kidneys holds around 1 million microscopic filters called nephrons, and you were born with every one you will ever have. They do not grow back. So the whole game after 60 is protecting the ones you still have from the 2 forces that wear them down fastest. The first is pressure. When your blood pressure runs high, it hammers those tiny vessels like water through a hose turned up too far, and over the years it scars the filters shut, one by one. The second is oxidative stress, a slow internal rusting inside your cells, the same process that turns a sliced apple brown. Now here is the part nobody tells you. In a healthy body, blood pressure naturally dips 10 to 20% while you sleep. We call that nighttime dipping, and it is the kidney's rest period, when the pressure finally comes off those filters and they recover. People whose pressure refuses to dip at night lose kidney function faster. So everything you eat in that last hour has one job: help your pressure fall, cool the rusting, and do not dump extra work on organs trying to rest. Every fruit I am about to give you does one of those 3 things, and nearly all are gentle enough for night. Nearly, because there is one exception, and I will be direct with you when we reach it. Number 1 is the blueberry, and we start here because it carries the cleanest evidence on this list. What gives a blueberry that deep midnight color is a pigment called anthocyanin, among the most powerful antioxidants ever found in food, and it is exactly what neutralizes the rusting that scars your filters. A 2019 review in Advances in Nutrition tied regular berry intake to lower inflammation and better blood vessel function, and your kidneys are, at their core, an organ built almost entirely out of blood vessels. Protect the vessels and you protect the filters. There is a quieter second reason blueberries earn the bedtime slot. They are naturally low in both potassium and sodium, which keeps them friendly even to kidneys already under strain. Eat a small handful, about half a cup, on their own, or in a little plain yogurt. Frozen works as well as fresh. Number 2 is the cranberry, and almost everyone has the wrong idea about it. Most people file it under one thing: that tart juice you gulp when a bladder infection is coming on. They are not wrong, but that is only the surface. The deeper reason cranberries belong here is a compound called an A-type proanthocyanidin, which physically stops bacteria from gripping the lining of your urinary tract. That is not folklore, that is the mechanism, and it matters because urinary infections that creep upward are one of the real ways healthy kidneys get scarred over a lifetime. And cranberries carry the same antioxidants as blueberries, cooling the rusting at the same time. The one catch is the tartness, so skip the sugary cranberry cocktail, which is basically soda in disguise, and reach for a small spoonful of unsweetened dried cranberries or a splash of pure unsweetened juice cut with water. Number 3 is tart cherries, the first real surprise of the night because they do something nothing else on this list can. They are a different animal from the sweet summer kind, and their secret is one word: uric acid. Uric acid is a waste product your kidneys have to filter out, and when it climbs too high, it does real damage. It forms the crystals behind gout, it is a leading cause of kidney stones, and it is now linked to faster kidney decline. Tart cherries have been shown to lower uric acid in the blood, in some studies within days, a direct favor to the organ doing the filtering. And here is what makes them almost built for a bedtime video. Tart cherries are one of the richest natural sources of melatonin there is. That same melatonin pulling you into deeper sleep is helping your blood pressure take its full nighttime dip, which is your kidney's recovery window. Use unsweetened dried tart cherries, a small spoonful, or a splash of pure tart cherry juice cut with water about an hour before bed. Skip anything labeled cherry cocktail or cherry flavored. That is just sugar in a costume. Number 4 is red grapes, and the color is the whole point. Reach for the deep red and purple ones, never the green, because the skin of a red grape is loaded with resveratrol, one of the most studied molecules in aging research. For your kidneys, it pulls two levers at once. It calms inflammation, and it helps your blood vessels relax and widen, exactly what you want as your body lowers its pressure for the night. A gentler nighttime pressure means less grinding on those tiny filters while you sleep. Now, a word of caution. Grapes are sweeter than the berries, so portion is everything. About 10 to 15 red grapes is the right evening dose, eaten whole, skin and all, because the resveratrol lives in that skin. Freezing them makes them feel like a real dessert and keeps your hand out of the ice cream. Quick pause. If this is connecting the dots for you, tap that like button. It genuinely helps this reach more people over 60 who need it. And tell me below, do you know what your blood pressure runs at night? Alright, back to it. Number 5 is the humble apple, and it protects your kidneys through a back door most people never think about, your gut. An apple is one of the best sources anywhere of a soluble fiber called pectin. When that pectin reaches your gut, it feeds the good bacteria living there, and a calm, well-fed gut sends far less inflammation up into your bloodstream, the same bloodstream your kidneys filter all day long. A gut that stays quietly inflamed floods the filters with low-grade stress. The apple repairs the upstream end of that pipe, a connection researchers now call the gut-kidney axis. The skin carries quercetin too, an antioxidant shown to protect blood vessels and lower inflammation, so eat it whole. And like the blueberry, the apple sits low on potassium, safe for nearly everyone. A medium apple in the evening is ideal, and a tartar one, like a Granny Smith, holds less sugar and more fiber. Eat it an hour or two before bed so the fiber has time to work. Number 6 is strawberries. They are packed with antioxidants, including a powerful one called ellagic acid, alongside a heavy dose of vitamin C, and together they march straight at the oxidative stress wearing down your filters. Strawberries are mostly water and fiber with very little sugar. One of the lightest, gentlest things you can put in your stomach at night, a real antioxidant hit without spiking your blood sugar or sitting heavy while you sleep. They run a little higher on potassium than blueberries, so if your kidneys are already compromised, keep the portion small. Half a cup to a cup of fresh strawberries, sliced, on their own, or with a spoon of plain yogurt. Number 7 is pineapple, and this is the one almost nobody in this country thinks to eat for their kidneys. It hides a secret weapon. It is the only common fruit that carries a natural enzyme called bromelain, and bromelain is a genuine anti-inflammatory. It quiets the widespread, low-grade inflammation that slowly damages the filters, and it eases the digestive load, which means less work flowing up to the kidneys overnight. And here is what makes it a smart night choice. It is actually low in potassium, lower than most people would guess for something this sweet and tropical, which puts it on the friendlier side of the list for kidneys already working hard. The catch is sugar, so portion matters. About half a cup of fresh chunks in the evening is plenty. Fresh or frozen beets canned every time, because canned pineapple usually swims in added syrup that undoes the whole point. Number 8 is the surprise I promised, and it is citrus, oranges and their relatives. The one fruit a lot of people with kidney worries have been told to avoid, and I need to give you both sides honestly. Here is the good side. Citrus fruits are one of the best sources of a compound called citrate, which passes through your kidneys, binds to calcium in your urine, and stops it from clumping into stones. In plain terms, it is one of your body's own defenses against kidney stones. Oranges are also loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants that fight the same rusting as everything else on this list. So why the warning? Citrus is high in potassium, and this is the one place in this whole video where I have to stop and be completely direct with you. For healthy kidneys, potassium is not a problem at all. They clear the extra with ease, and it actually helps lower blood pressure. But for kidneys already failing, in the later stages of chronic kidney disease or on dialysis, those kidneys cannot clear potassium properly, and it can build up in the blood to dangerous, even life-threatening levels. So here is the rule. If you have kidney disease or take a medication that affects potassium, do not add oranges, bananas, or any high potassium fruit until you have asked your own doctor whether it is safe with your numbers. For some people, citrus is exactly the wrong choice, and only your own blood work can tell you which group you are in. Before I hand you tonight's plan, I need to draw a clear line, the way I would in my own office. These fruits support healthy kidneys and early, mild strain. They are not a treatment for kidneys already in serious trouble. If you have swelling in your legs, ankles, or around your eyes, foamy urine, blood in your urine, a sudden drop in how much you urinate, or pain in your back or side below the ribs, those are not fruit problems. Those are see a doctor problems, and soon. And if you already carry a diagnosis of kidney disease, are on dialysis, or take blood pressure or potassium medication, fold these fruits in only with your doctor's blessing, especially the citrus. Food is the foundation, but it is not the whole house. Let me tell you about someone I will call Margaret. She was 66, recently retired, and she came to me feeling perfectly fine. Her blood work told a quieter story. Her EGFR, the number we use to grade how well the kidneys filter, had slipped into the range where we start paying close attention, and her creatinine had ticked upward. She was stunned. No diabetes, barely touched alcohol, always assumed kidney trouble happened to other people. We did not reach for a prescription. We started with her evenings. Margaret had a habit of unwinding most nights with salty crackers or ice cream, right as her kidneys were trying to settle into their recovery window. We swapped it, some nights for blueberries and a few sliced strawberries, other nights a small apple with cinnamon or a spoonful of unsweetened tart cherries an hour before bed. She kept oranges to the daytime, after we confirmed her potassium was safe, and added a 10-minute walk after dinner. A year later, her EGFR had held steady. It did not climb back, because kidneys do not regrow what they lose, and I will always be honest with you about that. But it had stopped falling, and her blood pressure was the best it had been in years. For a 66-year-old kidney, holding the line is a real victory, and that was Margaret giving those filters their night shift back. So here is exactly what to do tonight. 5 simple steps. First, close your kitchen earlier, so the last thing you eat is a fruit instead of something salty or sweet, and your kidneys begin their recovery window with less to clean up. Second, pick one low potassium fruit already in your house, blueberries, strawberries, or an apple, and eat a small portion about an hour before bed. Third, if you want the full effect, build a simple bedtime bowl. Blueberries, sliced strawberries, a splash of unsweetened cranberry or tart cherry juice, and a spoon of plain kefir, keeping the orange out on purpose because of the potassium. Fourth, add a 10-minute walk after dinner because your blood pressure is the single biggest lever you hold over these filters. Fifth, if you have kidney disease or take a blood pressure or potassium medication, ask your doctor one question this week. Which fruits are safe with my potassium? Your kidneys have carried you quietly, without complaint, every single day of your life, and they ask for almost nothing in return. Give them one honest hour tonight, the hour before you close your eyes, and you give them the chance to repair what they were built to repair. You are not too late. I have watched people well into their 70s, steady numbers everyone assumed would only keep falling, and it began with a swap this small. Start tonight. I am Dr. Edward Hale. Sleep well and take good care of yourself.